Welcome to Cool Clubs headquarters. S3 Technologies is located here. This is where we make, design and build our S3 proprietary loft and lie machines. This video is to help you set your machine up, to show you any maintenance issues and to show you how to calibrate and use it properly. When your products arrive, they're going to arrive in two boxes. The main crate has the loft lie machine including all parts. The toolbox is the post that you're going to assemble your loft lie machine on top of. To unpack the main box, the little crimps will be clamped over. You'll need to bend these back so that you can remove your lid. Your box will be full of cardboard boxes, bubble wrap, those kind of things to protect your unit. Just remove them piece by piece until you come to this point here. Once you've removed all your protective packaging, these are the items that will be left in the box. The bending bar is cable tied to the side of the box. It's probably safest to remove this first. Hold the bending bar and clip, and just remove the bending bar from the box. Next, parts inside. This contains all of your digital pieces for your loft lie machine. Finally, you'll find your clamping piece of the loft lie machine at the bottom of the box. These two bolts here are actually screwed through your crate underneath. You'll need a 1/4 inch Allen key and possibly a pair of pliers. You need to reach underneath your crate and on top of the box and undo each bolt individually. You can now lift your loft lie machine out. Grab the handle, support the base, lift and place onto a flat surface. Finally, you'll need to take out your post. This is the post that you will mount your machine on. It's quite heavy. The upside is the V's on top. Once you've removed all parts, first thing to do is to find a location that is suitable so that you can use your machine in left and right hand orientation. You need space either side once your machine's mounted on the post to stand and adjust the club on either direction. Once you find your spot, you need to mount your post to the floor. Depending on your floor type, you might need concrete anchors, you might need wood screws, but you definitely want to make sure that this post is tight to the ground once it's installed. Once your post is mounted securely to the floor, you take the screws that you pulled from the crate to remove your clamping piece. You lift your clamping piece onto your bar. Be careful to not crush the wires, and align your screws holes in the plate with the holes in the post. Insert your bolts. You will then need to lock your nuts on the back with your 1/4 inch Allen key on the top. Finally, you'll need to remove your protective packaging from your digital and analog display. Peel it off. You may need your knife. This is your display. Its orientation is with the screen facing forwards. For right-handed, you'll place it on right hand. Do not just balance this piece on its own. The thumb screws that I'll show you will actually lock it onto the plate. This can be moved from right hand to left hand, and each time secure it with your hand. You'll feel it lock and sit inside the channels. You'll find your thumb screws in the bag with your power cables. This is right hand orientation. Slide it along until your bolt holes match. Secure the display at all times and just tighten by hand. One screw all the way down, and then it's stable enough to leave and tighten your final screw. This is now locked in position and good to use. Finally, you'll need to install your power and your lights. The cables on the back of the digital display, power on the left, lights on the right. Both are installed, and you can see the digital display has now got a reading and lights, and also lights on the faceplate of the machine. Dexterity of your machine is quite simple. Balance your display carefully, remove your power cords, loosen your thumb screws, lift the display, replace on the opposite side, balance whilst tightening thumb screws. To calibrate your machine, you need to enter a calibration setting. Press button 1 on the side of your machine. It asks for a calibration toggle with 1 and 2. We press button 1 again. It requests loft and lies to be met with the analog scale. We meet loft 5, lie 74 with the analog scale. We then press button 2. This confirms. We press button 1 to skip to the next section. We find loft 35, lie 62. We press button 2 on our scale. We then press 1 to skip, loft 65, lie 50. Press button 2. We confirm with button 1. To exit and save, we press button 2 and we are calibrating. I'm going to show you how to secure a club. Make sure you keep your measurement device as far away and as clear as possible. The top clamp has a pin. There's 3 sections. When you're using a right-handed setup as this is, when you're just measuring a club, you always want your pin to be in your center of the 3 holes. This will also be a good place to place the pin when you're trying to bend the club flat. When you move the pin to the right hand side, this is a good position to bend the club more upright. Position your club on the brass plates. Using the bolt on the outside, align the grooves to the 3 metal plates on the interior until the groove lines square up with the 3 lines on the machine and the club face is centered. Push down on the back of the club so the brass plates and the sole of the club meet evenly. Start to clamp your bar down on top of your golf club until you start feeling pressure and you feel the angle of the top clamp match the club. Just finger pressure is enough. Then use the rear clamp to create the same amount of pressure on the back of the club. You'll feel it meet, hand tighten, plenty enough there. The club is then in position to be bent. Once your club is secured, you're going to get your measurement device and slide it in and onto the shaft. The angle on the left hand side of the device is for right-handed measurement. Rock the measurement device back and forward until you feel it snug into the slot. We're looking at the analog here, lie angle, in the right hand plane, 62.5 degrees. We're looking at the loft angle on the analog, 28 degrees. The digital display is below and it displays 28 and 62.5. You'll receive a bending bar in your box. This is a proprietary Cool Clubs product that works with our loft lie machines. This club here is at 62.5 degrees. We've got the pin set in the center. This is best for bending the club flat. As an example, I'm going to flatten this golf club by 1 degree. So you keep your measuring device out of the way. You slide your bar on the thinnest part of the shaft that you can, down over your hosel. You have 4 planes towards yourself, which is going to add loft to the club, away from yourself, which is going to de-loft the club, downwards, which is going to flatten the club, and upwards, which is going to make the club more upright. In this case, we're going to bend the club 1 degree flat. I use my hand close to the hosel to feel the angle change. I use my hand at the furthest point of the bar to create the most leverage, and I bend slowly, creating downward pressure until I feel the club moving. I then release the bar, bring my measurement plane back across, and check my work. This club is now at 61 degrees lie angle. When your machine arrives, it will already be greased. Every now and again you'll need to apply more grease to these areas. The down screw, the side screws, the back screw and the face plate. Applying the grease to the down screw, wind the screw out, apply it around as evenly as you can. As you wind down, apply it to the back screw. Wind it in and out until your screw is entirely covered and moving easily with the grease. Applying grease to the toe stop. This is in the right hand setting. Unscrew and remove. Place a smaller amount of grease on the screw. Replace and wind the screw in to just about over halfway. Grease on the back screw. Apply it quite close to its insertion on both sides. And wind out. And wind back in. Smaller amount of grease required for the faceplate. I wind the screw almost to its maximum height and I swipe down on each side so you get a light covering. As I get to the point where I would use my tallest club, I apply just above. And start to wind back. Your machine will have general wear and tear. Three key areas are the base clamps, the back clamp, and the top clamp. All three of these pieces can be removed and replaced quite easily. The back clamp quite simply slides up and away. The top clamp is your button press, release and drop. Your base clamp is the same, button press, release and remove. All pieces that have general wear and tear we carry as stock items to replace and replenish. If you damage or they wear down, contact us, we'll send you spare parts to replace locally. There are a few common issues that occur with the machine. Lots of them are to do with the screen, brightness and lights. The other is to do with when your machine moves, the digital scale doesn't display a readout. These two can be fixed in store. We offer a video consultation service free of charge that you can talk to our engineers and help you diagnose and fix the problem. If we don't reach a solution, we'll then return the machine and repair and replace.